Let's do the search page now, and we will do the music player bit in the end because I think that's the most challenging part. So if you code along the song part with me, sorry, the search part with me, you will have a good amount of hold on React concepts so that you would be able to do the music player part nicely. If you have any doubts till this point, please go ahead and ask me. Okay. So again, like we use effect, use state and use effect in our last uh, custom hook. We will use state again here. This time we won't make any custom hooks. We will use our older custom hook, but this time we will only use state, which is the default hook provided to us by React. I'll also import use songs list, which we defined uh, in the components, not components, helpers. Yep, I'll import use songs list again. Then I'll import feather icons again because I think in this search part I'll need that uh, search icon again because I'm using it in two places. I'll import feather icons React again. And once more, because I will be routing from one page to another page, I will require your link tag. Okay. So we will be having a link tag and we will be using the custom hook which we made. So I'll import the link tag in this part, the line number 4. And now let's start coding the search part. So remember I said that we will be having a query variable which will be passed to the songs list in the case of searching so that there is no problem. You can pass the substring of the song that you're searching for. So we'll get two objects from here, query and set query, right? This is my query. By default, the value will be empty here because by default, I want all the songs to be listed. But if you give me a substring, I will search based on the substring. That's why we only had one route in the Node.js API. Next up, we will again pass this query to our songs, use songs list. And the beautiful thing about React is that everything goes together at the end of the day because now all in order to make the songs reload based on your query, because you wrote the logic for that in the custom hook of use songs list. You see, if you open use songs list, uh, because you wrote the thing for you passed query as a dependency here. So every time I change this, call this set query method to update query, this use songs list will also get into action and the songs will get updated. So it's like very cohesive in that way that uh, once you get the core fundamentals of what's happening and why it is happening, you will have a very easy time understanding the rest. Uh, so next we will define. Let's do this part later. It's a very small piece of code which you'll understand later. Again, remember back to the fragment time which I explained that sometimes you don't want to waste a div on unnecessary markup. So I'll just create a fragment. In the actual code, this won't show up. This is just for collecting my code because React does not allow you to have two separate divs uh, as the top level component when you're returning it from a component. So I'll have a div again, and this one has a lot of classes. So please pay close attention. I'll make it full screen. So one of the classes that we'll start with is we'll set the padding bottom to 0. Okay, bottom padding to 0. We'll make the display to flex. We will fix this on the top. Okay, because we want the search. I think we want the search icon and the input box for the searching to be on the top. End 0. I think this will push it towards the end. There are multiple ways to do the same thing. So if you are able to achieve the same effect using some other piece of classes or some other CSS code, don't be surprised. Allied items center. Okay. Now I'll use a text box, right? I need a text box to be able to input the query. So for a text box in HTML, you have to create a input tag. So here you will have value. The value of this will be passed as query. Okay. Uh, add just a second. So for the value of query, we will now pass the class names. I'll go ahead and first close this tag so that it will stop throwing this error. I'll pass the class name now. The value of class name would be rounded pill, rounded dash pill, because I want a rounded text box. Like if you look at the final app, it is very much rounded. If you go to search, this is a rounded text box, not a proper rectangular text box. Then I'll set the background to gray, which is by default in Bootstrap, it is BG secondary. If you use this BG secondary class, the background will automatically become grayish. So PY2, PX5, basically two spacer units on the vertical axis and five spacer units of padding in the horizontal axis. We don't want the border, so we'll set the border to 0. And flex grow one is the class you need to make the whole text box stretch across the full width of the web page as much as possible. So flex grow one is basically take the whole space as much as you can. That's what that class means. And one thing that we might be comfortable in hard coding here, which I cannot write in the Bootstrap class names themselves, is the margin left, which I want, because I also have to account for that left chevron which is there, because this is absolute, so we can't account this in any other good way. So we will just give a margin left of 50 pixels, which is I have not 50 exactly, it's 56 pixels. I have calculated it. You can like tweak around with this value. If you find something else is more suitable, you can use that. And but in React, you have to do dual binding. Okay, like in this input, you have to not only define what is the current value, you also have to define the behavior of what should happen if the value of this input component changes. So you have this on change property where you have to define a function of what would happen if the value changes. Okay, so for that I will write a function called handle change. Okay, and that function we will define in the top right here before the return statement, and we'll call it handle change. And every time a value changes of a text box, it is the convention of React that an object called E, which is basically event object, is passed to the function, the callback function, and you can literally get the value which has been changed by the user and set it in the query using e.target.value. Okay, that is how you handle a change in the value of a text box in React by establishing dual way binding. Okay, let's see what the output looks like right now. Not play, we will require the search component right now because we're working with the search component. So it's not looking really good right now because we have not added the search icon as of now. Let's go ahead and add the search icon. How do we add the search icon? Right beside the input, you have to create another div. Okay, and you have to have a class name. Okay, class name p-3 because we want 3 spacer units of padding, and we'll use another feather icon. Again, it will be the search icon. Okay, and now I think it will become proper. Okay, yeah. So it became just like I think our finished product. I think this is just slightly less taller. We will see how to change that if needed. But this is looking fine in my opinion. PB fixed top. I think we have written everything correctly. Just checking. Okay. Have we zoomed in? Yeah, actually we have zoomed in. So now it's fine. Uh, Now we will render the top part. Like this is the what I have tried to make here is very similar to what YouTube Music does. it gives you all the results at the bottom, but for the top four most relevant results, it gives you this kind of a styled way that it will give you four or less top results. Okay, so for that we will use the JavaScript. I think it's called the slice operator. Yeah, it's the slice command. Basically, I want, if it's a 10 element array, I only want the first four elements and I'll run a loop on that. So that is the point of that slice. I'll show you what the code looks like for that. Okay, so let's now do a horizontal. Uh, cool. Let's have another div. Okay, class name, and this will be a container, obviously. MX auto, like I said, equal margins both sides. A padding top of 5 spacer units. Okay. Uh, Now I'll run again. I'll need to insert some JavaScript code here. Okay. So songs.length. I'll only want to see this if the length of the songs is not equal to 0. How do I have this? How do I ensure something is not equal to 0? You have the exclamation sign, you have the equal sign, and another equal sign, and one. So this is the signal. Oh, sorry, symbol. And once you remove all the spaces, it looks something like that on my ID. It might look something different in yours. Uh, so you have to check if this is true or not. If it is not equal to 0, then obviously we want to render the four components. But otherwise, I will show something like no results or something like that, which basically means I don't have anything to show you. So it will show as empty. Okay. So this is called as a ternary operation. If you guys have studied it in C++ or Java or any other major programming language. So now going ahead, um, we will do a map over the components. So if it is 0, again I'll use a fragment. Okay. I'll have a fragment where first of all I'll have a heading, obviously. Uh, class class names here would be something like uh, text muted, because I don't want a white heading, I want a grayish heading, and I want a margin of 4 all around, and it will say the most relevant results. Like I said, I want the top 4 most relevant results to show with their alpha art, and the rest I want with text. Okay, so I'll go to a div, class name, a dflex, basically again a flex box, 100% width, w100, very easy. Justify content center, right? I want all the elements to appear in the center. Again, I'll iterate using map. Like I said last time, map is used for iterating over stuff. And I'll pass the 0 to 4. Here 0 to 4 means that I want to start from the 0th element and I want 4 elements. So that's what it does. And I'll map over it, and for every the sliced array, I can iterate and get a song. Okay, I get a song, and using that I render my images. How do I do that? I'll do a return, and in that I'll write my code for album art, right? Link, again we'll use a link tag with a parametric string slash play slash dollar song dot underscore id, right? Key equals to song dot id, class name call3 px1. Call3, basically imagine the whole width of your page to be 12 equal columns. Call3 basically means each of those four album arts will at max get 3 of those 12 columns, which will basically divide it equally among all of them. So some padding I'm putting all around this object in the left and right, the horizontal axis, obviously. Px, that's what px does. uh, then I'll add an album art image using the source attribute. I'll pass the URL, of the image URL, alt, and here again I'll pass the name of that song so that people with visual impairments can at least get a understanding of what is shown in this image. And let's see what we see on our render. It's showing some error. Okay, obviously because we don't have any alternate. Okay, let's say you have not zero amount of uh, elements. That is sorted, no problem. But what happens if there's actually zero? There is no logic that we have defined for that, right? So in that, if you remember ternary operations, you represent the alternate with this, and here you will return something like what would happen should I not have any thing to give you. So here I'll just put a h6. H6 is a small heading, and here again the text class name would be text muted because I want gray text instead of white text. Uh, and here I'll say no results found. Okay, and again I think this time right now the images are all over the place. I think we missed a class name somewhere. Uh, Dflex container mx auto text muted diff class dflex justify content center call 3. That's fine. Uh, I missed this class name here, which is W100. Okay, which is basically it forces the column to only have 100%. So now this is fine. Okay, this is working now. Uh, Further on, we now need to show that textual list now because we have finished with the image list, and with that we will have, first of all, I have a horizontal ruling between the two. So there will be a, if you save this, you will see that there is a very uh, light line that goes through your the bottom of your uh, image list. So that is why the HR is needed. Um, and after that, we will go with uh, H6 class name text muted, again gray text, MT4. And this time not only we are showing the relevant results, we are showing all results. Okay. Um, Again, this time it will be an unordered list. This is how you make a unordered list. Unordered list means basically where the order does not matter. So you don't want something like 1, 2, 3 written on the left. So you make an unordered list. And the class name here would be uh, list dash unstyled. Basically, it will remove all the bullet points which generally show up in an unordered list because I don't like bullet points in my UI here. And again, I will run a map just like I have done before. I can actually go and copy this bit because it's very like this is exactly the same thing, but this time I'll just remove the slice part. Uh, okay. So this time I'll have to return something. This will also be a link to slash play again. At slash again we have to pass the song ID. Okay. And the key again should be the song ID so that if there is any performance improvement to be had, you can have it like this. Okay. I'll not close it like this because I want a proper closing tag for this because I have to put text in between. One mistake I made here was that I forgot to close this, and I think that should make the error go away. So there was a slight syntax error which I did here, so please go and fix that if you are writing along with me. Now for every element, I need a list item because this is a list. Class name should be, I'll have some padding classes, some margin classes and all that like always. And this time I'll justify the content to be in between. All the spacing would be in between the two. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'll have a h6 tag, uh, which is basically a heading, a small heading, song.name. Okay, h6 heading and a feather icon again of an external link. This icon is called an external link because I want to show that this clicking on this uh, icon will take you somewhere. Otherwise, it's totally optional. If you don't want this in your UI, you can choose to skip that. See, now it is appearing. What was the difference that was made by adding justify content between, you might ask? So let's see what happens when I remove justify content between and save. Basically, it will get stuck together. So if you want to allocate the remaining space, like anything which is the remaining space in this flex box, I'll allocate that to be between the two. So that's why justify content between is required. Okay.